Hey, welcome again to Clark's Place. Today, going to do a little work on the 68 Shelby tribute car. Brought the Shelby in, and what happened is, driving it, the fumes are so bad inside, coming from the trunk, which what I have found to be the problem is the Shelby panel. This gray panel here goes over the lights, and I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see right there in the corner, my hand finger, is it doesn't seal up against the body, so air comes in these holes here all the way across, and both sides are that way. There's light shining in. Well, with the kick up here on the trunk deck, it just pulls all that exhaust up through the body. I couldn't hardly even drive it. Took it and had the whole front end lined. So gonna work on that, work on the tail light a little bit. I'll put it on time lapse. And in the engine compartment, I took the hoses. As you can see, one of these comes crimped and the other end is not crimped. You size it to wherever your compressor is, and you cut it off, put this sleeve on. I took it this morning, and you tape it how you want it, and then they crimp through the tape. We can see the the blue tape is down in there in the crimp part, but all three lines, one here, and okay, I'll put that way down in there. All the lines are ready. All I gotta do is hook those up, and then I'll have to take it someplace, have them pull a vacuum, make sure all the power is working correctly. And looks like I need to dust and clean up the engine compartment a little bit. This has been sitting for a while, mainly waiting on the front end alignment to have the time to go do that, but needs to be buffed up again. And I've got a drag on taking it over to get it aligned. The exhaust hangers, I believe, is what he said is hitting when I go over a little dip. So he said there's plenty of room to spin them around, tuck them up inside. So I'm gonna also do that. So I put it on time lapse, get it up on the lift. I think I want to do that first, and then also over here we've got a chrome molding goes across the bottom. Somehow those are not lined up the greatest, and when I get out, I'm always popping it off. So I'm going to get that up, probably re-drill, move those, you know, up at a height that we can either pop a line or something and use a laser on it, and then get that put back on. I don't want that falling off. And I've also got, he said he was not able to clock. As you can see, the wheels are straight, yet the steering wheel is not clocked correctly. So I'll have to take the pad off, pull the wheel, spin it around, put it back on. He didn't want to mess with that because it was a Shelby wheel, and so I said, don't worry about it, I'll do it myself. But can't wait to get it done and be able to drive it, have air condition, and enjoy it this summer.
All right, so I know the battery died on you when you were finishing up this.
Welcome back.
Last we saw it had the wheel off and you had the inner fender splash out.
Had to put this back on. And
why'd you do all that?
because this has a big, I guess, capture plastic piece that clips up inside, and then it comes through with a screw, or like, you know, a bolt goes on the back over to our nut to pull that in. Instead, you know, most guys, when that goes bad, they drill a hole and just put a screw in it.
Yeah, I've seen that on cars.
These two, I think it was one here and one here, had to be drilled out and or moved up, because put the laser on it, and
I saw that laser beam action.
Where every time I get out, this was such a torqued bind, boom, that would pop. It still has little raised areas, but that's because this flex is so much. It's a cheap repop.
Yeah, no,
I think that they don't make good quality.
At first glance, it looks okay. It looks complete, but if you look across the top, it's a mountain range.
I mean, you can see the quality here. The corners are just...
Did you say quality?
Yeah.
And pointing at that at the same time?
They're just not made like the originals were. That's why they say if you've got original ones that are in good shape, keep them, because the repop stuff just doesn't fit very well.
Yep.
But it's back on there. I don't think it's going to come off. It really snapped on well. And hopefully
I would love it if that thing, while we weren't touching it, just popped off and fell to the ground.
That would be cinematic.
Cinematic greatness there. Look at those wheels. Look at those Shelby wheels painted white and red like no one else would ever.
Right.
But I love it.
Well, this is
center's painted. That's cool.
If this were a real Shelby GT500, of course it'd be worth 150 or so thousand. But I wouldn't have done that. But I think
you wouldn't have let me do that.
I think it looks cool with the white and the red.
Yeah, this is color matched. The red is the same color red as that, and then the white. I think maybe the white was from some other white project.
I don't know if you've ever done anything underneath.
All right, so how do you keep the exhaust from choking you out while you drive this beast?
We of course had a problem. This panel that's screwed in, the lights are cut out, but all across the bottom, I had to take the bumper off. You could almost put your finger in.
This was sealed. This was sealed pretty tight, like it is. I mean, it doesn't look really any different, but I see a little bit of evidence of what you did here.
Where's a light? Here we go.
Oh, you got the new Milwaukee spotlight. Look at you, Clark. You're stepping up in the world.
Okay.
Look at that houndstooth, Matt. Look at that. You never see. Just kidding.
See down it. I don't know if you can see. Right down in here, where there's new sealer.
I think so. Looks like you
that you could see daylight.
Yeah, that was all daylight out.
And of course, when you're going down the road, the exhaust coming up with this creates the updraft, or
a vortex, some might say.
Yeah. And what it would do is it was pulling it into the cab, coming all the way forward. I mean, I couldn't hardly breathe. I mean, it was so fuming.
Not that I enjoy my father choking to death as he drives his muscle car.
But hopefully that's going to seal it up. It's pretty much dry now, I think.
Yeah, so with the Shelby lights, these lights didn't belong in this car. They're made, you can see the panel, whoops, a daisy. You can see the panel's just made for the 3. It should have 1, 2, and 3, so we cut this bar out to allow the Shelby light to actually come in.
Right.
Let me get out of the light there. So this bar continued down. We had to cut that out in order for the Shelby taillight to come through here. So,
and that's the way it's made to do that. I don't know how the real Shelbys are. They're probably,
oh yeah, then we had to punch holes for the other lights.
yes.
So we got one light there and one light there. So that punched more air vents into the cab as you're driving. And when none of this is sealed, which now everything is sealed all the way around,
right.
even your license plate light wire was a hole that it still leaked. Probably wouldn't choke you out as you're driving, but it needed to be done too.
Right, right. And I mean, I don't think there's anything else you can do to seal it in here.
Well, the rest of the body's all body matched, body panels to body panels, so
yeah, I mean,
you shouldn't be leaking anywhere.
Of course, you could put some sealer there, but because it's open.
True.
But
yeah, but I've never seen any of them that seal hardly any better than what it
no,
is.
because when you're hauling something, this is open anyway.
Yeah.
And the seat's flipped around, of course.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so tail end is sealed. Good job on that one. I like what you did.
Yep.